Well, fans of the hit series The Chosen are eagerly awaiting the release of season 5 in March. I know I certainly am. And later this month, you can see Elizabeth Tabish, who plays Mary Magdalene, in a different role. She stars in a new movie called Between Borders.
Actress Elizabeth Tabish is well known by fans of the immensely popular Bible series The Chosen for her portrayal of Mary Magdalene. In a new project, Elizabeth plays the part of an Armenian refugee. Between Borders is based on a compelling true story of a family rejected in their homeland, a target of harsh mistreatment, as well as the kindness of Christian missionaries. Violeta's family learns that God is both real and able to rescue them.
All right, everyone. Well, please welcome to the 700 Club, Elizabeth Tabish. Elizabeth, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Of course. Well, we all love you and your role as Mary Magdalene in The Chosen, but please tell us more about your brand new movie and your role in the movie Between Borders.
Yeah. So Between Borders is a true story. It's based on the Petrosian family. It's set in the late 80s, early 90s, and we begin in Azerbaijan. They're an Armenian family. They were born there. They grew up there. They have wonderful jobs. They're really settled. And then ethnic tensions become so overwhelming that they have to flee to protect their family. And they have these two daughters that they'll just do anything to protect. And they go to Volgograd, Russia, and they face some similar sort of tension there. They're bullied at their work, and they don't really feel like it's fully home. While they're there, they meet these American missionaries at this Christian church. And, you know, their background is communism, so religion is sort of a foreign thing to them. And they are curious about it, and they get involved and are eventually invited to come to America to speak at the church. And then they fall in love with America and feel a real sense of safety there. And so we get to watch their journey as they are going through the process of applying for citizenship. And yeah, it's a beautiful story. The people that this story is based on are just some of the most warm, loving people. And it's a real privilege to get to tell their story.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds very, very powerful and moving. But I wanted to also ask you, what drew you to the role of Violeta, the woman that you portray, and how do you relate to her maybe?
Yeah, so Isaac Norris is one of the producers, and it's actually his father who was one of the missionaries. So he knows the story very well. He approached me at a screening of The Shift, actually, and he just mentioned that it was a story about Armenian refugees, and I'm part Armenian myself. And so I was really, really excited to help get to tell a story about the plight of the Armenian people. And then when I read the script, I just connected so much to the character of Violeta. She reminded me of my own family, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, their warmth and their emotions, but also their strength and determination. So I was all in the second I read the script.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, obviously, Violeta's faith is an important part of her life, and we see that kind of just grow and flourish in the film. Talk about her faith in the movie.
Yes, I mean, she again, they're from a communist background, so it's a really, really kind of unusual thing for them to get interested in religion. But when they moved to Volgograd, her parents had moved a few months before, and her mother introduced her to this church. And as she started going and started learning about what Jesus was teaching and how to love your enemies and how to turn the other cheek and forgive, it started really transforming the way she looked at the world. And even as they're going through the complexities of applying for citizenship, there are moments where they think it might not actually happen. And we see her faith come through in those moments where she, I think, really realizes no matter where they end up in this world, they have a sense of real safety and home in their faith.
Yeah, amen to that. Well, what does the movie demonstrate about the role of Christians, and in this case, missionaries, in alleviating suffering in the world?
Yes, I mean it is what Jesus taught. It is to take care of each other and the those who are in need, and especially those who are outsiders. And we see this family bullied and threatened throughout this entire story. To be shown kindness, to be shown love and worth. Transforms everything for them. And, all these years later, we get to see what their lives transformed into. And we see them here, and they are so warm and loving, and they take care of the people that they work with, and they're protectors of people. And so it's you can see how it transforms lives, and it continues to transform lives. And yeah.
I love that. Well, what message do you hope audiences, walk away with after seeing the film?
I mean, there are a number of, depending on who you are and what your background is, I think anyone who's watching it that has family members who have been immigrants or refugees, I think there's going to be a familiarity in this story. But also just a reminder of what America has promised to so many and has been for so many immigrants, a safe place, a place where, it's a melding of so many different cultures, and there's a real beauty in that. And then also just, as everyone goes through their own walk through faith. And I hope that it inspires people that to love each other and to take care of those who are on the outside of society.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've mentioned this, but Between Borders is based on a true story. How are Violeta and her family doing today?
They're wonderful. They're in West Virginia. They work at a university, and they do a lot of sort of outreach and with the international students. So it's very fitting. And they have their two daughters. They're both grown. They're married. They have children. Everyone is doing so well and so happy. And I got to watch the first screening of it at the Armenian Film Festival with them and one of their daughters. And it was really, really special.
Oh, my goodness. Were you able to meet or interact with the family before you shot the film?
Not before, but during. While we were filming in Romania, and while we were there, in fact, there was this one scene where I'm on the stand telling a story about what happened to me at this school, and the real Violeta is sitting in the background, behind the camera. And so I felt like I got to sort of tell her story back to her. It was very emotional and really special.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the film is brilliant, so congratulations, and highly recommend everyone to watch it. But I wanted to transition really quickly. We got to talk about The Chosen. Season 5 is being released in March. What has playing the role of Mary Magdalene in this series meant to you personally?
It's been a life-changing experience. I love this character so much. I've always loved her just from history and who she was to Jesus. This is a woman who, when we first meet her, is possessed by 7 demons. She's in the darkest place imaginable, and we know where she's going to end up. We know the end of her story, which is being the first person to witness Jesus resurrected. And to watch that story unfold from the darkest place to really one of the most extraordinarily light places and joyful places, it's a privilege and a real honor to get to play her.
Do you have a favorite scene from the past 5 seasons? Is there like a favorite episode that you have? I know that's like a hard question for many people, but do you have one?
I do. It's hard to choose, but I always go back to the ending of episode 1 in season 1.
Yes.
Every time I watch it, I feel really just reminded of what sort of peace this story can bring to people, and it's a special one.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, last question. What can we look forward to seeing in season 5? I am super excited. Oh my gosh, what can you share with us?
Probably not very much, but it's a fantastic season. We're getting closer and closer to the crucifixion, so tensions, everything is all ramping up. For Mary, since she's been paying attention to what's been going on, she knows something is happening soon, and we get to see a different side of her where she really completely lets go of her past and is so focused on trying to protect Jesus and figure out what is happening. But it's a really, there's the theme throughout is the Last Supper. So there are some of my favorite moments in the Gospels that are played out this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Elizabeth, thank you so much for being with us this morning. And congratulations on the new movie Between Borders, and congratulations on The Chosen Season 5.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Of course. All right, everyone. Well, the new movie Between Borders is a Fathom movie event. You can see it in theaters across the nation January 26th through the 28th, so make sure you guys go see it. And, of course, Season 5 of The Chosen will be released in theaters in late March before it begins streaming, which I'm looking forward to.